Everybody, and welcome to the War Bear Podcast for this month, or the end of last month. In this one show this week, Brent's here, and I'm here, and I don't know where Tad's at. If you've seen Tad, please report your local authorities, because we're going to call out a missing persons on him, because he's never around anymore. So. How was your month, Brent?
Alright, I was trying to log into Netflix so I could...
What?
Log in because I can't remember some of the names of some of these.
Oh, well, yeah. What'd you do this month?
Just working.
Just a-working? I was working too. Brent wasn't here for the last podcast. He really didn't miss anything, though, I don't think. So, we just got done playing some Metal Gear. Look for those videos soon. And Brent's still playing Bayonetta, and those videos will come out on a regular basis. So I've been pretty good at uploading. So,
other than that, watching a bunch of shows, and one of the big things I'm going to start doing is I'm going to do live casts of reviewing some of the anime and different shows I watch on Netflix. The first one I think I'm going to do is called All Noah Zero.
What's that about? Well, I guess he'll be on your cast, so look forward to watching that, and he'll explain what it's all about and whatnot.
Oh, it's got mech suits, and it's...
Well, I mean, saying if you're gonna do a whole review of it, might as well just save it for the...
But it has a really good storyline to it, and a good premise of...
When are you going to do that?
I'm going to try and get it before this time next week.
Yeah, okay. So just look forward to this time next week. Or whenever this should be out pretty soon, so...
Also watched Season 2 of Luke Cage.
Cool.
I didn't expect where it went. I didn't think that was part of Luke Cage's character.
That's not really a spoiler. He didn't say anything what happened.
But at the end, he's basically became the big crime boss of Harlem.
Did he? No, I don't think that happened in the comic books, but...
So, that kind of... And the fact of they did do an episode or two that Danny Rand Iron Fist was on there.
Right. Sure. Well, they can.
And for a lot of these shows I'll be talking about, just know they're spoilers for a lot of them. I've just got into the newest season on Netflix of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, if you're going to do the show, I'd say, say the review part first, and then have, a spoiler section that you're going to do.
The big spoiler to that is, I didn't know they were going to do this, but I think it's really going to lead well into the Captain Marvel
movie. Well, yeah, because that's really...
They're bringing the Skrull, is that what they're called? The blue guys?
Yeah.
And that's how she gets her powers to begin with, so...
Sort of.
And the one I seen.
She got her powers from the Nova Corps, dude. That's where she originally got her powers from. But they ain't gonna do... There was two Captain Marvel... Well, there was Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel back in the day was a part of the Nova Corps, like an alien who came to Earth, and he had a bunch of cosmic powers and shit. And then Miss Marvel ended up getting some of those powers, but then they got rid of Captain Marvel, and then they just made Miss Marvel Captain Marvel, and then now there's another Miss Marvel, but it's some other girl with like a mutant powers. That doesn't have anything to do with like the cosmic powers shit. So I'm not surprised. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is like highly connected with the Marvel.
And I know it's not an anime, but I am probably going to do a review on it because a lot of people I know I've talked to really like the show, and I gotta admit, it's to me something I didn't expect, and it's a different. I think it's a Netflix original called Sense8.
I've never heard of it.
And it's really cool. They're called clusters, and essentially, these people, there's like, I think 7 or 8 of them in a cluster, and kind of like telepathically, but they can communicate with each other in their cluster. So even though one of them's in India and one of them's in the U.S., they can sit there and talk and have a conversation with one another, and the one in India will seem like they're there in the U.S., and the one in the U.S. will seem like they're in...
Like psychic powers?
And
is it anime?
No, it's a live-action show.
Oh, it's a live-action show.
So, it's...
That's cool.
Got a lot of drama to it. It's got a lot of love stuff to it. There's a lot of sex scenes in it. Gay and straight.
Not for the children. I'm sure... Doesn't Netflix have some kind of like rating system, though? I mean, they tell you the rating beforehand, don't they? Before you click on it.
Looking right now to see if they show that.
I'm sure they do.
Yes, it does say TVMA.
MA, yeah, that's pretty high. That's cool. So yeah, Brent's gonna do live reviews on the Facebook page. I'm guessing, is that what you mean?
Yeah, whether it's Facebook or YouTube, one of the two, I'm gonna try and do that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I got a lot of shows on here I've watched that I really, really like.
That's cool. Just kind of like getting attention to them, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, Fairy Tail, Soul Eater, what's this thing called? It's
Brent watches Netflix. That's
a lot.
I don't know what he's going to call the little Brent reviews, reviews. Watches Netflix.
Well, I know there's one on there, and I think it's a newer version. They kind of redid it of the Lion one. Trying to think of what that's called.
Lion?
Where the mechanized lions come in to make one.
You have Voltron?
Yeah, Voltron.
Yeah, they did.
I've been watching
I've heard
that.
It was so-so.
It's kind of okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard.
I'm not going to do Death Note because I think 99% of people have watched that and know that.
Anybody that cared to watch it watched it, judged it already. It was kind of a universal failure, so that'll be neat. I look forward to watching that. Well, I'll look forward to that. Brent said next week, so he doesn't have to get. Like I said, you don't have to get too much into it if you're going to be doing it anyway.
Those are a lot of things I've been watching is
Netflix shit. And
a lot of Netflix stuff.
Taking notes.
Sense8 came out. A lot of they've done a lot of new things coming out. I didn't even expect. I thought with this Disney announcing they're coming out with their own stuff, I didn't think we'd see a season 2 of Luke Cage. I thought they stopped all that.
No, Luke Cage was already like in the works when they got. So there won't be like 3 or they have a contract for a certain amount of time, so it's just basically letting the contract run out.
I'm hoping we see a lot more because I like it. I mean, I hope to see at least another season of the Defenders.
I know for a fact that like where it was kind of like loosely connected to the Marvel Universe, now it's not connected at all. Like you're not going to see Daredevil on Civil War kind of shit, like.
No.
They're not going to do the whole, like...
crossover.
I mean, spoilers, if you haven't seen Infinity War, they're not going to do the whole Dust in the Wind shit. Because at this point, like, half of New York, or maybe, like, 1/20th of New York should be, like, just dust puddles right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think they're going to even acknowledge that ever happened, so...
I don't know if they're even going to talk about that in any of those?
No, they won't. I almost guarantee it. That will be a surprise if it even happens, but I don't think they can.
But
so
they've
kind
done some of the crossover stuff from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., talking about stuff that happened in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They did early stuff, but not late stuff.
They did. They referenced some stuff happening in season 2 of Luke Cage.
Yeah. As far as I was under the impression that wasn't going to connect anymore. So,
But they gave some good nods in there. I thought it was pretty good.
It is still a Marvel property, so I mean, I don't know. I don't follow it, so really don't need to. I guess that's kind of stressed. Is if you want to, you can, but you don't really need to follow the movies at all.
No, I just think it's, they're B-list characters for the most part, but I like the story they're putting in there, and I really like the twist they did with Daredevil. It is so much better, and I really can't stress this enough. I really, really hope that their contract lasts at least long enough to get another season of The Punisher. Because that Punisher was amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people like that one. But
even with the Daredevil, that was so much better than the first movie, and just Daredevil done right. I mean, and I like the fact of the crossover. Even in Luke Cage, you see a lot of Froggy from Daredevil.
Yeah. You should.
You see from, Danny Rand coming in there, and I can't think of Danny Rand's girlfriend from it, but I can't think of her name. Escapes me. She's in there.
I can't, my month, fuck your Netflix shit. I went and saw Incredibles 2 twice.
Still haven't went and seen that. What do you think of it?
Fucking great movie. It was a great movie.
Was it worth the, 10-year wait?
It's 14 years.
14-year wait.
They did a little apology thing at the beginning. I didn't think that was necessary. It's like, what is 14? Like, I grew up in the 80s, and it seemed like sequels did take that long to come out, if there was ever a sequel at all. Like, it was like, now it's kind of like more like, I wonder when they're going to do a sequel to that. To now, or back then, it was just like, holy crap, they're making a sequel to that? Like, that's the difference. Like, people walk out of the theater now, and they're like, I wonder when, I want to go see part 2. But now, back then, it was just like, whoa, holy crap, there's going to be a Batman part 2? That's nuts. Are you serious? That's crazy. They're going to make a sequel? That's awesome. Like, that's a big difference. And I think the director's kind of on that page, the guy who wrote and directed The Incredibles. Because they asked him about part 3, and he's like, I'm not making a part 3. He's like, I made part 2. We're talking about part 2. We're not talking about part 3. It's like, right now, I just want to go fucking on vacation. I'm done right now. I made $1 million movie. I don't need a part 2 right now. Like, or a part 3. He's like, I'm not even thinking about that. He's like,
well, he wouldn't even say he was going to make a part 2.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like, he was like, why would you guys want a part 2? That's ridiculous. I'm glad he came out. Like, yeah, it's really good. It's kind of like one of those things. It's like, it's better because he did wait and made something not like, what's the right word? Quick and ugly, but like took time. Even though, like, I think some critics said, like, the villain's kind of predictable and the situation's kind of predictable in a sense, and it kind of is, but
it was that way in the first one.
Yeah, exactly. It's meant for a family film. It wasn't, like, dynamic in that sense. Like, it wasn't, like, getting into, like, really deep shit. It's just, basically, it is kind of like the first movie. It's just role reverse, basically, in a sense. But animation's really good. There's a lot more with Elastigirl, because, like, she's the one going out fighting crime and stuff. And I don't know, I'm kind of mad at Marvel now, because it's like, they had 2 movies to make, or 3 movies now, to make Mr. Fantastic fucking interesting. Because you see, Mr. Fantastic, you're like, oh, what's he fucking do? He just stretches? That's fucking lame. Like, what can you do with that? And then you get, like, Elastigirl, and you're like, holy shit! She can fucking stretch? That's fucking sick, dude. Like, they're, like, explored her powers more, like, what she can do and what she can't do and what you can do with that. And maybe that's a budget thing. Maybe they just didn't want to spend the money doing the special effects on those movies on that, because all you really see him do is put his hand under the door and pick some locks. And the first movie, you're like, whoa! And she does that one in this one really quick, like the exact same thing. And you're like, well, yeah, of course she can do that. I've just seen her fucking do...
How can you be bad at Marvel, though? That's all Fox. Fox owns that.
I'm mad at the fact that, well, Marvel still had a say in it. Well, you know, Fox too. I mean, it really doesn't place the blame. It's just like they were just lazy with it. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, this is like, you could have done a shit ton of shit with that. It was fucking incredible.
They didn't concentrate at him at all. It's always been the Human Torch and Thing.
Yeah.
And a little bit, and even another one to that. To me, even in the comic books, they never really gave her any props. I can't think of her name, but the one that has the powers. Yeah, Storm.
Susan Storm?
Her powers are freaking boss.
I mean, Violet in Incredibles has almost the same power as her. I mean, it's almost exact. She has shields and she can turn invisible. I mean, it's a complete ripoff. I mean, you could think about it for a second. But they do more with hers, too, in that sense. Like, she's, like, throwing, like, energy shield bombs now and splitting shit in half. It's just, like, I don't know. It was really cool to see, like, these powers, like, explored in different ways they can use them and stuff like that. And you get that from the first movie, but there's a lot, like, I think it was, like, more of a focus on, like, Mr. Incredible and Dash. And I mean, Elastigirl had her scene. And I really like that scene in the first one, too, like her infiltrating the base and sneaking around. And you know she's a lot more capable than that one scene, and then you get to see a lot more in this one. It's like, holy shit, she was fucking badass. And it was funny to see, like, especially at my age, I have a lot of friends who are becoming dads for the first time and people that have been dads for a little while. And I've never been a dad. I kind of was a one once, but... that's a whole story. But, like, it's funny to see that, like, him trying to take care of the kids by himself, and he's like, I got this, and he does not have it. And that was fucking hilarious. Because he's trying so hard. He's just fucking it up so bad. And the previews don't really give it any credit. Like, it's really fucking funny. Like,
but see, that's one thing I like about those. And I'll give The Incredibles. They did a whole lot of good, serious, but with some comedy.
Yeah.
And I know a movie you absolutely despise and about ruined Marvel for you, Thor Ragnarok. I think they killed that. They put so much comedy in there, and crap comedy, in my opinion.
That one's kind of got the whole thing split, because there are people who love it.
But they didn't. The serious moments weren't serious moments.
No. I mean, even the director said that. Like, so when he was doing like a Q&A, and they're like, like someone wrote him a question, said this feels more like a comedy than an action flick, and he kind of laughed and says, because it is a comedy. And it's like,
and they failed in that. To me, they failed in making a good movie.
They did, yeah. I agree.
And The Incredibles, you get a lot of comedy. But it's at the right point, and I guess best way to put it, they earn their comedy.
Yeah.
And the serious moments are serious, and they draw you in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
And you have those peaks and valleys where it makes it a great movie.
It was, yeah. I went and saw it twice. I liked it that much.
That's
what's it grossing at? It's got a lot of fucking money right now. It's peaking.
I haven't even looked.
I remember hearing it was the highest grossing animated movie of all time at this point. And it earned it.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, everybody...
I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't one of the highest grossing movies of the summer. I wonder where it's at, like, stacked up with Infinity War, which was also a great movie. And, I mean, going back to Thor Ragnarok, that was a much better fucking Thor movie than Thor not Thor Ragnarok. Thor Infinity War was a much better Thor movie than Ragnarok was. I actually like Thor in fucking in Infinity War. I'm like,
they did some comedy in there, but the comedy was well placed.
In Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't all about stupid, I call them stupid fart jokes, because that's the way I felt it was. They just, I don't know, I really liked how they did it, and it was earned.
I mean, fuck, yeah, Incredibles 2 is fucking really good. I really, really like it, and I can't recommend it enough. I mean, people were questioning why I was going to go see it again, and I was like, because this is the this is the movie I want to throw my money at, because I wanted the studios to go, oh, they want more movies like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want fucking Thor Ragnarok. Fuck that shit. I don't want Solo shit. I want fucking...
You brought up Solo stuff. Solo stuff, that they're trying to push that and throw so many advertisements, and it is so bombing. It is so not even making an eighth.
They're making They're making the same mistake they did with fucking Ghostbusters, man. They're starting to attack the fans. They're starting to say, oh, they don't like it because Kathleen Kennedy and all this shit, and it's all SJW. Like there was a whole the girl that plays Rose Tico in The Force Awakening, like deleting her Instagram page, and I don't even think she said it. People started contributing to that, to like she's gotten bullied and that's why she's doing it. I feel like it was such a studio thing to try to take attention away from the shit that Solo was bombing so bad. And I'm like, that's not going to work. It's so fucking obvious. And it didn't work. And it's like...
Well, even the critics tore that apart. I mean, even, like, most of their Disney... most of the critics are like, won't bash on Disney for nothing. They're tearing apart Solo. I mean,
there's some points to point out that people like. They like the person that played Lando Calrissian. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And... I mean, in other stuff I've seen him in, I didn't see him in that movie because I'm not going to go watch it. But other stuff I've seen him in, he's a good actor. I mean, Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson's in it. I think Woody Harrelson's a good actor. I don't think this is a good movie, though. That's the thing. Like, it's not the actors. Even though I did hear like people did not like that dude playing Han Solo. They said he fucked it up really bad.
I don't blame the actors for everything. I hear the storyline is just garbage.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's like, guys,
some of the animation stuff in there is glitchy and bad.
Disney just makes a fucking... Well, it's just plot holes. I don't think the special effects are terrible. I think that's like one thing they can't fuck up at this point, even though it's like obvious computer generated special effects, and that's really hard to fuck up. And even if they did fuck it up, they would have pulled it and fixed it. I mean, I don't think the special effects are bad. I ain't gonna even like argue with the DP and anything like that.
I can't say that because everybody else tells me, they can't fuck that up. But look at Force Awakenings. There is several points, and granted, I've only watched the movie once, and I'm pausing it through the movie, and there's points in there you can pause in that first Millennium Falcon chase. That thing is chrome. It is chrome. It looks chrome.
They're probably saying it's been updated since then. It's like 100-year-old ship.
The whole thing was, in several scenes you look, it's supposed to look old, dusty, and broke down. And then there's scenes where you can tell they didn't, like, finish out the stuff. It is chrome. Yeah. It is bad.
It's just, to me, it's just the story. It's just... Like, people say, how do you save Star Wars? How do you save Star Wars? I'm like, don't try and save it. It was never fucking in danger to begin with. Just preserve it. That's what you need to do with Star Wars. You don't... Stop making fucking Star Wars movies. It doesn't need any more. It's done. If you're going to make another Star Wars movie, and if you want to, like, keep making them, make it about, like, 100 years later.
They had story stuff they could have done and made it right.
They weren't going to do that because they were going to have to pay people... for those stories, and that's why they didn't do that. Because all those books that you're talking about, those were all written by different people, and they would have had to like give them a credit, and they would have had to give them a paycheck, and they were not going to. They already spent like $7 billion on fucking Star Wars, so they weren't going to give like 1,000 to this person or 1,000 to this one because they use their story. I don't know why. They couldn't just like call them up and said, "We want to rewrite your story, make it work, tweak it a little bit, but we want to use your plot and go off of that."
Most of them, I don't even think 90% of them you'd even have to pay. Most of them would be so honored that their stuff is going in a Star Wars movie.
Like an official movie?
Yeah, in an official movie. And just say, hey, put me in the credits.
I think they would want to get paid.
I don't think so.
It's just a business.
Prime example of
even
using episode 1. Samuel L. Jackson wanted to be in the movie. Didn't even want paid.
Yeah.
Just wanted to be in Star Wars. Now, mind you, even at this time, he was one of the highest paid actors.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, my point is, like, the book writers aren't highest paid book writers. Some of them probably do okay, but they're not making billions of dollars. And if they're going to get their property gets like transferred to a movie franchise, they're going to want a paycheck probably.
I don't know. I think...
And JJ's got his fucking head up his ass so fucking far.
And
I think he wanted to take all the fucking credit anyway. So. And
that was another bad choice. I mean, why do you take somebody who just copy and paste? And that's all I've ever seen from any of his crap. He has no original thought. Why would you put somebody who is blatantly known as not having an original thought on anything like that?
He's a yes man. He's a yes man that can make lots of money.
And I hate that.
That's exactly what it is.
And I think a lot of fans are starting to get to the point...
I fucking hate what he did with Star Trek, so...
But that's another prime example.
I know.
He's booted out of that franchise.
I never liked the dude. I fucking hated fucking Lost, man. I fucking hated Lost. Everybody's like, oh, Lost is so fucking good. It's so great. I'm like, why? Nothing fucking happens in Lost. They're on a goddamn island. Like... Nothing's happening. It's just like a human drama. But even that gets, like, maybe it's interesting for a little bit, but it starts getting old, especially when nothing's getting addressed.
I didn't even know he did Lost.
Oh, yeah, he did Lost. Oh, yeah.
I'll give him credit for that. That's, I
wouldn't.
I thought it was a pretty decent series. I thought it ended stupidly.
I thought the whole thing was stupid.
But it was an okay series.
That's his claim to fame, is Lost, yeah.
But anything else is so... I've not seen, like, he does movies. Where's the originality? Where's some creativity?
A lens flare.
I don't see any of that.
Mm-hmm. He's got that lens flare going on. He makes everything look like an Apple store. Especially with the Enterprise and... They just said to him, we want a Star Wars movie, but we don't want to take any risk. We don't want anything like brand new because we don't want to alienate like older fans, but we want to like make it for newer fans. And he's like, all right, got this. So he just took the first script and he just tweaked it so it was different, made it more like female oriented because they went that female crowd. And at this point, they don't give a fuck what we say, dude. They don't like. I bought merchandise for Star Wars for fucking years. I know you bought some shit. And at this point, they're like, you guys are old. You're going to be dead soon. We don't want you as fans anymore. I mean, in so many words, that's what they are saying. They're not.
But they're failing in that. I mean,
they're not even like coming out and saying that directly. Like, I'm not putting words in their mouth, but in so many words, that is what they are saying. We don't want... If you older fans want to stick around, that's cool. Hey, come on in. But we don't give a fuck.
A prime example of how that's failing...
As a toys sale?
I went into Toys R Us. They're going out of business. Yeah. There is still both sides, 2 full aisles of Star Wars crap.
It kind of makes me wonder... I don't know. I can't speak from a child's point of view. But I remember when I was little... And every old person was like, "Oh, hey, do you like comedies?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like funny movies. Those are fun, you know." And they're like, "Oh, you gotta watch Caddyshack." you got to watch Animal House. Those are the shit. And I remember like watching those, like, oh wow, this is gonna be so cool. And I'm like, this is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen.
I
in
love
my life.
Caddyshack.
I like it better now, but I'm just saying for a kid.
When I was a kid, I loved that. That was one of my all-time...
Dude, it just seemed like an old movie. And I feel like maybe that's what's going on. Like, kids are like... All these older people are like, hey, do you like video games? Do you like lasers and shit? Dude, you need to watch Star Wars. And they watch Star Wars and it's like, what is this old-ass shit? I don't fucking...
I can't say that because all my nieces and nephews, when you watch... Granted, they like... You know, they really like episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, but those are more like...
The 3, 4, and 5, they're kind of like, eh. Even my stepson, he was kind of eh towards those, but he liked 1, 2, and 3.
But I'm saying, like, that's not even who they're trying to appeal to.
But
they're
newer stuff...
too old, too. They're too old, too, at this point. The newer stuff is they're trying to get to, like... They're trying to get the 14 and under crowd. That's who they're trying to hit.
They don't like them.
I know.
I mean, when I have one... nephew that literally, I think he's, I can't even think of his age, but he's watching it and he's pointing out plot holes and bad things.
I think that's too, I won't say like Star Wars, the original, or even episodes 1, 2, and 3 were masterpieces. They have plot holes in them as well. It's just, I think the original and episodes 1, 2, and 3 kind of speak to a generation in a sense. Like, things are going on in the times, at those times. And I don't, like, when you rehash it, like The Force Awakens did, and you're just retelling the same story from the fourth one, you're not appealing to that newer generation. I mean, I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but sticking a black guy and a white girl in there is not appealing to that generation. Luke was appealing to his generation because he was a young guy, he wanted to get out in the world, blah, 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 blah. And that kind of, like, reflected the time that movie came out. Like, young guys can be like, yeah, I want to be like fucking Luke. I want to go fight this Empire and blah, 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 blah. But now that the Empire is the bad guys in that one and the political situations we have now, I don't think it appeals to them. It's not hitting those notes. You know, like, the story should have been different than what it was. Like, it should have been like, I don't really know what appeals to the youth these days, myself even, but, you know, like, if I was doing, I'm not writing a Star Wars script either, but if I was, I'd be trying to figure out, you know, what's the thing that, like, kids today are most angsty about, and how can I, like, incorporate that into my scripts? Maybe like a whole like section on bigotry, you know, that seems to be hitting everybody's buttons. Like everybody wants to be called a certain thing, blah blah blah. Maybe that could have been something in the movie, like, she doesn't want to be a Jedi, but everybody's calling her a Jedi, and she wants to be called something else, you know, and maybe she's rebelling against that, you know, like maybe, you know, and saying like that's what I feel like it's not hitting, like it's not appealing to the generation that it's trying to market into, and that's another missed thing because, you know, like. When I was growing up, Star Wars was amazing because they didn't have fucking special effects like that. And that was like a treat to see a spaceship flying around. Now you got like 10 movies a week that has fucking Stargate SG-1 could do special effects like that easy. People are used to seeing it. So you got to hit another level with that.
And they aren't.
No, they're not. That's what I'm saying. Like,
they're not even pushing nothing with that.
No. No, not at all.
They're not even, I don't even feel like they're even hitting close to the topper end of the special effect thing on that. And to me, and I'll use Force Awakens to me, this is one of the things that really, it's Star Wars, okay? You should be going balls to the walls for effects on this. Now, if you look at the fact, they showed they can do this with Avatar.
Yeah.
Of the backgrounds, where was little insects or, you know, that little snake crawling across the sand or...
I see what you're saying.
You know, that background stuff that just made you freaking wowed to it.
But, I mean, at the same time, it's like they just kind of hand-wave away the history of what's going on. When you're the 7th movie in a series, how did fucking shit get to where it's at now?
Yeah. They gave you
like what? They were the last man and teddy bear trying to fight the most powerful thing in the Empire, and they won. And then you're going to be like, what, 20 years later? Yeah, I got all fucked up. What? Seriously? Like, what? How is there stormtroopers still? There should have been another thing. It should not have been fucking stormtroopers or Empire. I know that's what's familiar, but that's not, like, even, like, if you go, like, compare Episode 1 to Episode 4, it wasn't the Empire. It was droids. The droid army was the bad guy. It was a new enemy. And you saw the creation of the Empire. You see that, like, progression. And then you get to, like, Episode 7, and it's still fucking stormtroopers. It's like, what? It should have been a new enemy. A new force trying to take over shit. Not fucking stormtroopers again. What was he, fucking TIE fighters? Doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like, was there no progress made? What was... All those Bathas died for fucking nothing? Like, what the fuck happened? I don't give a fuck about this little fucking girl on this desert planet. I've already seen this shit.
And that... They had so many things...
What happened?
that they could have made... Even with that... There could have been amazing scenes, and the scenes sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even attacking the storyline. I'm talking just...
The storylines was...
The storyline is just absolute garbage. There's no saving it. I'm sorry.
I'll agree with you on the fact that you're not wrong about the special effects being kind of lackling. I mean, if that's what you're like looking for.
When I watch a Star Wars, that's when I'm sorry. You watch Episode 1, 2, and 3. He upped the ante on special effects.
Yeah, you know, like Dagobah. Even they had like that puppet bat flying in the background.
Yeah,
and they had like snakes and shit on the set with Luke, and I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It's fucking it's
Star
lazy.
Wars.
It's lazy.
Up the ante for.
Well, I mean, if you're not going to do anything with it, just preserve it then. Like, if you don't have a good enough idea to make it to a film, then you guys you probably shouldn't make it into a fucking film. Just make a goddamn theme park. That's exactly what I expect them to do.
Yeah. That would have been
fine.
Yeah.
Just get some fucking props, put them in like some glass, and then get some like I meant props from the movie, and then make up some fucking fake ass TIE fighters and like X-wings that people can climb into and take pictures in. Maybe have like a whole Millennium Falcon built that people can go in and sit in and take tours of it, and like make up like Dagobah, make like a little street of the fucking Death Star. Just do that. Guess what? You make money. I mean, I would have been interested.
Do a Death Star like hotel restaurant thing.
I would have been interested in going to that. Not now. They fucked it up so bad that I feel like.
But everybody said, "Oh, they can't kill." They're killing Star Wars. So many people are refusing. I mean,
I don't even think
I forget what that Last Night or whatever last.
I don't think
Last Jedi, is that what the other one was called?
Yeah. I don't think
it flopped. People didn't.
I don't think they're killing Star Wars. I think it's dead. Honestly. I don't think it's being killed or it's being tortured. I think it's dead. There's no saving it. It needs to just go in a drawer and forgot about for a couple of years, and then like people kind of bring it up and you're like, oh yeah, we don't want to do that again.
I mean,
and there might be some forgiveness if you bring it back after like 10 or 20 years.
I just don't know what you can do to save that. But
I don't think you can. I've already wrapped my brain around, like, people are like, oh, this will save Star Wars, this will save Star Wars. I'm like, I ain't gonna save Star Wars. I don't want to fucking see this shit. It stops at 6 for me. It stops literally at 6. They have not made me go, oh, I need to see this. I need to progress this story.
It's just aggravating for the fact that Disney did that Cartoon Network stuff of that Clone Wars, and then
Disney
they had the Rebel.
Disney, Fox did the Clone Wars thing. And when they were selling it just as they were starting the Rebels, so Disney owned the Rebels.
And that stuff was amazing.
The Rebels was not that great.
I'm talking the Clone Wars.
Clone Wars was really good, yeah.
I didn't watch any of the Rebel stuff. I didn't get a chance to.
It's not good. It gets really dumb really fast. Like, it's kind of interesting at first, but then it's just like, why the fuck is this? Why ain't they killing these people? Like, I thought these were ruthless stormtroopers. That was my biggest problem. Like, they had a kids show with stormtroopers, but they had a kids show, so stormtroopers can't be like stormtroopers. They got to be like idiots. So they're missing every target. Like, it's kind of a joke in the first one that they are always kind of missing. But, you know, like, there has to be some believability. Like, they didn't miss Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. You know, like, oh shit, they can get fucking serious sometimes. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they were always like in the what was that one fucking show called? Rebels, yeah, in Rebels, they were like just idiot stormtroopers, and it was just like, okay. And then they like Darth Vader came back, and it was like that was a really lame fight scene, and like, ugh. And because they own Clone Wars now, they were able to put elements of Clone Wars into it, and that kind of made some of it okay. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'd just rather watch Clone Wars and just call it good. Like, they ended pretty okay. And
I liked Clone Wars. They put some amazing stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that final episode stuff that they didn't even air. That was amazing. That was some ingenuity and some great writing.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I think is missing anymore in a lot of movies. That's why I don't go to a whole lot of movies. The whole artistic, like, thought, like, true thought behind a movie is not there.
There's some gems. They just don't get advertised. That's when I, like, drag you to go see movies, because I'm like, hey, I heard about this movie. It looks really good. Let's go see it. And you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is. What's it about? And I'm like, I'm not sure myself, but I heard it's good, so let's go watch it. And then you watch it, and you're like, that's fucking really good. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, why am I hearing about that? And I'm like, they won't advertise it. I don't have an advertising budget. You know, they gotta put Star Wars into like 18 theaters. I still laugh about that one because it was like The Shape of Water could not play in all theaters because of The Last Jedi. Because Disney put that threat on theaters that you have to show our movie in like all of your theaters. And that leaves like some theaters, like if they have 18 screens, 15 of those have to be playing The Last Jedi at like as soon as you open to when you close. So everybody has a chance to go see it, right? And that leaves them like, what, 2-3 screens to show everything else. So, and that's just like a big theater, like an 18 or 20 gram, you know, like that's what I'm talking about. Like smaller theaters can't do that, so they're just playing Star Wars. They're forced. They can't. They have no choice. They have to play Star Wars. And so all these other smaller movies don't have a shot of, like, some studios don't even bother advertising them that month because it's like, what's the point? They're not gonna. No one's gonna go be able to chance to see them anyway. So The Shape of Water comes out, and everybody's like, oh man, this fuck movie's great. People are talking about it. I can't see it because there's no place showing it. And then The Last Jedi is getting really bad reviews. No one's seeing it. It's just like the toy shelves at Toys R Us. There's 18 showings a day, or, you know, in all 18 theaters. No, they're all empty, or maybe like 5 or 6 people are in one. But no one's seeing it. The movie theaters are losing money now because they have all this space. They can't pull it.
I know some of them around here didn't do it. They started pulling them.
And it's getting bad reviews. Star Wars says, oh, the reason why it's getting bad reviews is because people are confusing Star Wars with The Shape of Water, which is, that is a tweet they fucking put out. Disney put the fuck out. No one ever talks about that. I don't know how you confuse The Shape of Water with fucking Star Wars.
It's a cop-out.
And then The Shape of Water goes out and wins Best Fucking Picture that year. So fuck you. Pisses me the fuck off. How fucking dare you? But then Pixar makes fucking, you know, I rant around about how bad Star Wars does, and I don't want to give Disney any money, but then I go see Infinity War. It's fantastic. So I'm giving Disney money that way. And Incredibles 2 is fucking phenomenal, and I give them money that way. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Disney owns every fucking thing. So, but I don't have to give them all my money where I don't want to give it. So I'm giving it to where it's good.
They're side studios, not direct Disney.
No, it's still going on the same plays. I'd still say...
I don't know. I think Pixar and Marvel...
My suggestion is...
I don't think Disney does as much, like, oversight with them, like, picking on their stuff as they did with, like, Star Wars. They had their hands all in Star Wars.
On Pixar?
Yeah.
No, what they have to do, because they're such a monopoly now, is they have to let those studios be their own thing. But they still have say. But what they do is they put people in charge of all those studios. Like Michael Landon was like the head of Pixar and Disney Animation Studio, because I think they kind of merged Pixar and Disney Animation into one.
Yeah.
Feige is in charge of Marvel.
But I'm saying you don't have these higher up people with, that are.
Well, no, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. The person in charge of Lucasfilm is Kathleen Kennedy. She's the one who gets to say, all the say. If you're going to point the finger at anybody, it's Kathleen Kennedy, which, from what I hear from the bomb of Solo and the bomb of The Last Jedi, her ass is fucking fired. There's already, like, rumors and talks and confirmed rumors, and, like, Disney's already, like, because they're not going to just come out, because they don't want, like, to be like, yeah, we fired that bitch, we're going to get somebody else, don't worry, guys, blah, blah, blah. No, they had, like, quiet meetings where they're like, yeah, you're fucking fired.
Well, they had to do something. I mean, that was, she put her hands, and she has obviously not much creative talent, and you could tell. Whereas,
I don't know, man. She was George Lucas's, one of his producers for like a long time. Or not George Lucas's, Steven Spielberg's for a long time. I mean, her name is on like credits of some Spielberg films, but I don't think she had anything to do with that. More or less, just handling the fucking paperwork and making sure everything was. And I think that's what they wanted her to do with the Lucasfilm. But then she started putting her like. She put the wrong people in charge, basically. Like that's basically what it is. JJ was the wrong person. Whoever they got to direct all those other things was the wrong people. Whoever they got to write them was the wrong people. That's the problems. And she's to blame for that, because she's the one who fucking hired these people to fucking do all this shit.
But at some point she had to look at these scripts and be like, yes, that's good.
Yeah, she did that every time.
And that's horrible. What? I'm sorry, anybody...
Every single time she did that, yeah.
Somebody would have brought me... I'm not a big creative person. Somebody would have brought me that frickin' Force Awakenings. I would have looked at them, are you smoking crack? This is crap.
They're playing it safe. That's exactly what they wanted. That's exactly what they wanted.
Just crap. And I'll admit, when I first heard they were doing a Star Wars movie, I was... right up there with 99% of people. I'm going to go see Star Wars. I'm so excited. I started seeing previews. I'm like, I don't know if I want to see anything. I want to be surprised by this.
I was warning you.
You said some stuff, and I was like, you're a little, like, really strict on movies. And I was like, I'm going to be open on this.
People say that.
And I didn't want to listen to anything on it.
I don't know how I'm strict on movies. People say that. I don't know how I'm strict on them. Because it's like... I'm
getting that way myself.
They spend a lot of fucking money on this shit. I spend a lot of money going to see it. if I'm going somewhere, I want it to be worth my fucking time. And I'm mad when they hear the budget for the movie, how much they spent making it, and it's total shit. It's like, you spent $2 million, and this is what you came up with?
I get aggravated.
I see independent movies that spend fucking not even a tenth of your fucking budget and make fucking masterpieces.
I only start getting really mad, and I'll use a couple of recent movies that I've watched that I just thought I couldn't understand. Thor Ragnarok being one of them, Iron Man 3, and Deadpool 2. I'm a huge Deadpool fan.
Yeah, Deadpool's 2 suck.
And when it is so bad for a movie I am just dying to see,
yeah,
and I fall asleep, wake up, and I'm like, I don't give a shit, and literally go back to sleep because I just don't care enough. The movie didn't...
I fucking said that, like, right after the first one came out, if you remember. We're in the car ride, and you're like, that's fucking great. They had this budget, and they did this much money, and I was like, yeah, but that's also really fucking dangerous, because now the studio's gonna get involved, and Brent's like, nah, they wouldn't do that. They made so much fucking money. Why would they fuck it up? I'm like, they're gonna fuck it up, dude. I was like, I hope they don't. I hope I'm wrong, but I was like,
and again, that's one thing I don't understand. You had gold, and I mean freaking platinum like gold, like perfect. You have the same writer, same crew, everything.
They didn't have everything. The director dropped out.
Opening day, when they're presenting storyboards and stuff for this, you start putting your fingers in, and over half, like, no, we're doing it this way or we're out. Well, then you're out. And they walk away, you're dumb. They already had a set linear path for this movie. They already had... even the original writer walks out, and you're like, oh, no, we can still make this gold.
Brent. Your anger is blowing out the audio. You could be angry. I'm just saying, like, you're talking really loud.
It frustrates me to the point when...
your anger is fucking peaking the audio.
You have a perfect thing, and you just can't let it be.
No.
Realize they know what they're doing. They're giving the audience what they want. You obviously don't know what the audience want. You proved that with the first one. Shut up and just let them do their thing.
No, they can't do that, man.
And that's just absolutely infuriating.
It's too fucking risky. It's too risky.
It's worth the risk.
Well, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying this is what they're thinking. This is their mindset. I mean, you're not changing minds here, Brent. You're not changing their minds. These are fucking old people with a lot of money, and they've been doing this thing. They would literally be like, I can buy and sell you. I've been doing this far longer than you ever fucking dreamed of doing it, even if you started now.
But any part of that, business-wise, makes no sense.
And they would go, you're not a multi-billionaire, so what do you know about fucking business? And that's exactly what they would tell you. Get the fuck out of my face.
Any business. That's like going into McDonald's and saying, you don't know what you're doing, we're selling tacos.
Hey, fuck, they've tried that before. I had hot dogs at one point. I remember that. I told somebody about that the other day. I was like, I remember when I worked there back in like 99, 2000. They fucking had this whole hot dogs promotion thing. And everybody's like, they sold hot dogs? I'm like, I fucking made hot dogs. I sold them to people. And they're like, I don't remember that. And I was like, it fucking happened. It didn't happen for very long because it fucking failed. Like, I don't go to McDonald's thinking I'm going to get a hot dog.
I mean, and that's my point. You already have your gold.
Yeah.
Why mess with it?
Well, because a lot of times, if they give them that much freedom again, they're not going to do the same thing they did the last time to make it a big hit. They think that they might like experiment and try to add shit. And they're like, no, we just want you to do the exact same thing you did the last time. In fact, make it do more of what you did the last time. I think that's a lot, because you see that a lot, like especially in Deadpool. They just rehashed old jokes.
And you can't. That's bad.
It is bad. But they're like, that's what made it good the first time. We want you to do that again.
And again, that makes no sense.
But make it bigger than the last time. So the baby arm thing was fucking hilarious. People laughed so hard at that. We want you to do that again, but bigger somehow. So baby penis. Now, it makes sense when I say it like that, doesn't it? You're like, yeah, okay.
I get what they did there, but it wasn't earned. It was a stupid joke.
Yeah.
It come off stupid.
It was, yeah. I agree. That's playing it safe, though, baby. The studio comes in, and they're like, I see you're wearing 1 condom. I want you to put 4 on.
And it's dumb. It just...
Yeah, because condoms suck. You should always go free. Live on the edge, damn it. Unless you have a sexually transmitted disease, but you should tell your partner, and you shouldn't be more open about that.
It's
a little bit
bad when you have something you know is good, and they're doing good.
I get what you're saying, but I guess you could bitch about it all you want. They're not going to change their fucking mind. The only way you're going to ever change their minds is just by not seeing it. Not throwing your money on it.
I'm a huge... I hate Transformers.
The fact that The Last
Michael
Jedi
Bay.
didn't do that good is the fact that the fans were angry, and they're like, we're not going to support the shit anymore. And that's why Solo tanked, because a lot of the fans who already didn't like what their direction they were going didn't go and see it. And the movie sucked anyway, so people just stopped seeing it. So they lost a lot of fucking money on that, and that's when the people who have money go, oh shit, who do we need to fire? And that's what I mean. That's talking with your wallet, and then they're already starting to see like some improvement with that. And what that will, I think, is a little too late, because I don't really think it could be saved at this point.
But at the same time, it's not looking at what we're doing wrong. It's, who do we need to fire? This is somebody else's fault. It's not that there's something wrong in the industry. It's, who do we need to fire? This person's
How
just
many
wrong.
times do you ever hear about fucking studios apologizing for jack shit? Roseanne goes on a fucking racist tweet rampage on Ambien, and what did the network do? They fired her ass, they canceled her show, and they never said, we're sorry about Roseanne's actions. Or they never even gave Roseanne a chance to get in front of a TV screen and be like, hey, I was fucked up, I was being racist, this is what Ambien did to me.
But don't even get me started on... They went on this about a racist thing. But yet there's how many other networks going on about other racist stuff, going on about Trump racist stuff, going on about other stuff, and it's all okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, she was showing conservative views on a liberal station, and because she put one close to racist statement out there, I don't even consider it...
I think that was pretty racist. They
made... Nobody even made that big deal. They made a bigger deal out of it than anybody else and fired her. But it was more that she was just saying conservative comments on her freaking show.
She didn't say it on her show. She said it on Twitter.
No, I'm saying in the show.
In the show she was saying shit like that? I didn't watch the remake of... I never really liked Roseanne to begin with, but...
I just watched some things they posted on Facebook that got, like, clips and stuff.
It doesn't really matter if I find it to be racist or if you find it to be racist. It's the people it's targeting if they find it to be racist, in my opinion. And the lady she said it to, I do believe Roseanne when she says, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't know she was black, blah, blah, blah. I do think that she didn't. I don't think it was...
But that lady didn't even find it racist.
It doesn't matter. Complain. It doesn't matter. People found it fucking really offensive. I mean,
I don't even want to hear that. There is more people saying that was not...
I mean, at this point, it's just safer, in my opinion, not to call anybody any kind of primate Okay, like that's just plain and simple. Like that is such a racist fucking term, in so many circles. You know what? Maybe just don't say that shit. Don't call people a fucking douchebag. I don't see fucking douche coming out going, hey, don't make fun of fucking dirty vaginas. It's not tied.
You know how many times I've called somebody a useless monkey?
Hey, that's fine. I mean, if you want to, I'm not gonna say that's
There
cool.
is nothing to do with race there.
I get what you're saying. Like, it's not aimed at a race, but there's, like I'm saying, like, people might take it in a race.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to change how I talk just because somebody finds what I say offensive, even though it has no racist meaning to it whatsoever. They want to find it offensive. Well, that is something I freaking hate about this day and age of society, of people like, oh, I find that, you can't say that, I find that offensive. Screw that.
I think people can say whatever they want. I mean, you got the freedom of speech, man. But I think that comes with a price, too. There is a consequence to that as well. You do have, I mean, even you, anybody on Facebook and anybody on YouTube and anybody in any kind of social media, even Roseanne on Twitter, she has every right to say whatever the fuck she wants. But there might be a price to pay for it. And it's not like you're going to get arrested, and it's not like you can be crimed, but if you're in a political, like, not a political, but I mean, like, if you're not, like, a famous career, maybe don't say shit like that.
And I'll give you that. When you're in that position, you do have to watch, and I'll give that. I mean, I will give that wholeheartedly.
I mean, just like I said, like, being called any kind of a primate and any kind of term has been a racist fucking thing for a long fucking time. And even if you don't mean it as a racist thing, like, it might be taken that way. And then you have to, like, explain the fucking joke, which kind of sucks. Like, no, well, you see, in this movie, blah, 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 in 1935, they said this shit, and blah, 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 and everybody's like, fuck you, I don't care what the fuck, blah, 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 blah. I mean, like I said, I don't hate races, I just fucking hate certain people. I don't give a fuck what color, what gender, or what the fuck you are. Some people are just fucking dumb and need to be pointed out for it. I mean, that's just what it is. It's not has anything to do with your nationality or where you came from or anything like that, or your upbringing. Hell, your brother can be your mama could be your fucking stepsister. I don't give a fuck. If you're just being dumb, you're being dumb. But I try to use my words carefully in that sense, like, where I don't want to say racist shit. Because I don't want that to be what people associate with it. They're like, oh, you just hate black people. I'm like, I don't fucking hate black people.
And again,
I might hate
they want to take something, they want to take a small phrase and take it out of context. Maybe not in that situation, but in so many situations, somebody says a small phrase, and they want to take it so out of context.
It does sometimes.
It's ridiculous.
And I mean, it's just going to come down to your own opinion on that when it comes to that point where you're like, hey, this person said some racist shit, and you're like, I don't think they said racist shit. Like I said, I don't think Roseanne meant it in a racist way. I still don't. I think she was high as fuck when she said it. But then
there's no doubt.
At the same time, there's something to be said about that too. If you're inebriated in any kind of way, maybe you shouldn't be on fucking social media. You should treat that shit like driving a fucking car. If you think you've had one too many, you should just stay the fuck away from it.
It's, like I said, it's just, I think bottom line came down to...
If you're famous at the bar and you're fucking drunk and you see the paparazzi coming around the corner, you need to get your ass out of that fucking bar. What are you doing drinking in a bar? You should be drinking in your own fucking hotel room, you fucking rich fuck. Ah, damn.
Like I said, it's... People want to take one, and they're looking...
Sometimes, yeah.
And I think in that situation, it had nothing to do with what she said. It was totally... They needed something to point out and to get rid of her, because that is known to be a liberal show.
I I don't know. I think the show was doing good numbers, so it was kind of a weird thing for them to cancel it like that. I mean, it was a big move, honestly.
It was stupid. The show was
Well,
way above everything.
Hey, if you own that network, you would have had to make that choice, but they're affiliated with Disney too, so they ain't gonna take that fucking shit. People know they're affiliated.
Again, Disney is very liberal, and she's doing conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And she was saying a lot of conservative remarks on there.
I don't think they would. I think they would have let the show go a season at least, but
no, I think they were.
I mean, a lot of people said
get hurt.
A lot of people said that they should have made the show focused more around the Darlene character because she's the one that put the show back together and got the cast back together and was like one of the producers and one of the writers.
Because actual Roseanne couldn't do it. She's the reason why the original show got done. I think the girl that played Darlene, her daughter. Some people said it should have just been a show about her, and Roseanne's just happens to be her mom. Like it happens in the same universe, but now it's more focused around her. And I was like, yeah, that would have been a good idea because that would have probably been like. It's like when I did watch Roseanne, I didn't mind Darlene, and it would have been like. The reason why Darlene could do it, and it did happen because of her, is she has her name is actually good in that.
I know, yeah. She's the one who put all that shit together. I mean, when they did the remake for the show.
Whereas Roseanne has a bad name.
Yeah, she does. So I don't know why they're just trying to remake Roseanne and not just do the character.
It was doing good. And they did it perfect.
It was. I heard it was doing good. I didn't check it out because I wasn't really. I never liked Roseanne much in the past. It was just like I watched a few episodes just because it was on TV back then. But like, you're also talking about a generation that did not have fucking internet, and cable was expensive. And this is like, if you didn't have videotapes, you didn't want to watch for the 18th million time. It's just like, well, I guess I'll check out what's on fucking TV. And Roseanne's on. You know, it was like. If that's the way it was. I mean, I don't even know what we were talking about originally. Star Wars bullshit.
But that's, it goes into the same thing with Star Wars.
Deadpool.
I mean, studios jumped in because they didn't like what was going on in the show.
I guess we can talk a little bit about the video game stuff, and then we can wrap it up for this podcast. Because I'm kind of curious how you're thinking about Bayonetta.
I'm really enjoying Bayonetta. It's a throwback. I did get to see some of the new God of War game, and I'm really eager for that, which I'm sure eventually we will be doing a playthrough of that.
The new God of War?
Yeah.
I mean, we can. It's just a matter of who picks it up. I mean...
I'm going to pick that up.
We could play it.
I'm a cheap gamer, and I'm not spending $50 for a game. That's just not going to happen.
I've already watched like a whole LP on it, so I already know what happens and everything like that.
Don't ruin that for me. I know nothing, and I want to keep it that way.
But I've never played any other God of Wars, so I kind of know what happened in the past. It really doesn't focus on that at all. Like, it really doesn't.
No, and I don't think they should. I think the past games completely, and when I say completely fleshed that out and just ended that storyline, they ended it.
There is some stuff, though. I ain't gonna spoil anything, but there is some stuff. We're talking. Well, I'll put it this way: we're talking about Kratos and his son, right? That's the focus of this game. What did Kratos do to his daddy? Yeah, exactly. That's a part in the game. That's a serious part in the game. It's like Kratos is trying to be a good father and instill good values to his son, and his son's like, "Did your dad teach you this stuff? How did you and your dad get along, Dad?" Kratos like, "Oh, shut up, boy. Don't talk about that."
So, I mean, curious. I am kind of curious for it, and I think.
I mean, if we do an LP of it, the only bad thing about doing LPs is just like you just want to put the main story out. You don't want to you want to put the story out and have our reactions to what's going on in the game. And where I'm a little bit more vocal, Brent likes to sit there and watch it and think in his head and then kind of comment on it afterwards. So he's not very quick on the vocals. He's not like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? Oh my god, that means that this is gonna happen. Whoa, 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 whoa. Brent's more like, And then later it'll be like, yeah, that thing happened, and that means this is gonna happen. You can coax it out of him. I'm not dissing Brent here. He's doing a good job.
No, I'm bad at talking through LPs like I should.
Yeah, like the whole point of the But like with God of War, there's a lot of like side shit, and that's what I was saying, like that you can't really do on camera because it's just kind of boring to watch. Like people don't want to watch you do all the side shit, so you kind of do that off camera if you want to build up a decent level and whatnot. And I know because I watched some LPs on. I watched a full LP on Super Best Friends when they played God of War, which was really funny. But I know there's some side shit that they even had to like go off camera and do, and come back and just do main storyline shit. In fact, when one of the guy Wooly got mad at Pat because Pat like came back and Pat had like got a whole bunch of shit. His level was super high, and they're like, there's parts in the game when you're like on a boat, and then dialogue starts up. And if you get off that boat, the dialogue stops, and you might not get it back, which is a really bad thing in that game. Another game, a good example of that is like the fourth Uncharted game, where they had dialogue in the car, where they start talking about some shit, because there's long car rides. But there's a lot of collectibles on the side of the road, so you're just driving, listening to dialogue, and you say like, oh shit, I need that. You stop, get out of the car, and everybody stops talking and follows you. And you get the collectible. The good thing about Uncharted 4 is when you get back in the car, like a couple minutes later, the guy was like, okay, so what was I talking about? And then they just pick up the dialogue again, right where it left off. God of War doesn't do that, and it's like, So Wooly was like, God damn it, Pat, what the fuck did you miss? What did we miss? Like, was there anything said? And Pat's like, nah, it was all fine. And then he kind of like was like, they talked about this a little bit and they talked about that, but it wasn't anything important. Don't worry about it. I made sure that I didn't progress. I just went to this point. Like you were doing with Bayonetta, you weren't trying to progress. You were just, yeah. If you don't know, Brent took Bayonetta for a little bit just to kind of practice, but he only played to like where we left off, and then he would like stop the game and restart it and start playing again. And I was like, well, you could have went a little further than that. It wasn't like you were saving it. Like you could have like figured out where to go and what to do and how to play with certain weapons.
I wanted my genuine reaction to stuff.
But then you say you want your general reaction, then you did like his general reaction is like, yeah, you can do this now.
Oh no! A lot of the bosses that came out, especially
you've been talking a lot more through Bayonetta. Like, I mean, it's something Brent likes. He's like all chatty, fucking. You're playing Metal Gear now. What do you think of Metal Gear so far? We're moving on. We're passing the MSX shit. We're gonna go on to.
I liked it when we played through it. It's kind of nice to see it back again. It's kind of like going back through an old game. There's little things you forget, and like that with the whole tank battle, I completely forgot.
It's just out of your brain. It happens.
That Raven was in the tank.
Yeah, he was in the tank. Yeah. I've played that game so many fucking times that I remember everything that happened. My problem was like I could not remember how the controls worked. And they're like really finicky controls. Like they're meant to be played like surgery, and like once you get into it more and more, you get that surgeon hand back, and you can just like, because it like especially in like 2 and 3, it had pressure sensitivity on the controller on certain games, and a lot of games didn't use it, but certain games you could press the fucking shit out of the circle button And it was a harder punch than it would be if you just lightly tapped it. And Metal Gear went, oh, cool, you can do that? So you can fucking, like, get your hand on the trigger and slowly release the trigger and not shoot the gun. That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's some shit. It's not in the first one. Like, the first one doesn't even have aiming. It's just Snake aims on his own. You just hope he's, like, pointing at the fucking thing you're aiming at and shoot the gun. But yeah. We're playing through that.
It's kind of like throwback for me, and seeing some of these games, you don't remember them, but you remember the basic of it, but you don't remember little parts of them.
I'm excited about. Well, I was gonna say, I hear a lot of comparisons between Bayo and Devil May Cry.
There is a lot there. I mean,
what would your opinion of that be?
I mean, you're doing a lot of like hand-to-hand and gunfight, and it is a lot. But I do have to say, I think they did up it with Bayonetta of your control responses times and actual responses and different. I think they did better with the combos than Devil May Cry did. I didn't play through 4. I heard they started doing that in 4, being better with that.
I heard that
but
too.
I didn't play 4.
I heard that too. I mean, like, the trailer for 5's out now,
which I'm looking forward to that.
And
I think it'll
a
be
lot
a
of
fun
people
game.
made the quick Bayo comparison with 5 and Bayo 2, which I don't know if we haven't got all the way through Bayonetta. I don't even think we're even at the halfway mark on Bayo at all. Like, we're not even scratched Bayo, and we played a shit ton of Bayo. I think that's like maybe a 16-hour game at best, maybe. And I don't even know if you want to play Bayo 2 yet. And I'm like, fuck, if he wants to play Bayo 2, I'm going to have to buy a whole other fucking game system. Because Bayo only came out for Nintendo. It didn't come out for the...
we probably won't play it then.
What do you mean? We'll probably get it. I plan on getting a Switch for the channel and everything like that, so... There's fucking Nintendo games that need to be fucking played, man. Fucking Pokemon. Dude, Pokemon is coming out. It's gonna be fucking the hottest shit in the fucking world. Don't even shake your head like you don't know what I'm fucking talking about.
I played a little bit of Pokemon Go. I was kind of already over it.
You played a little bit? You played a lot. How many fucking levels did you get up to?
I was 31, I think.
Tad made that sound like it was a fucking achievement.
Yeah, you move up fast till 20, but when you hit in the... I mean, higher is just 35 to 40, but it...
But it's not... The new Pokemon game that's coming out isn't just Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is just an attachment you can use for it. Like, you can catch Pokemon in Go and then transfer them to your Pokemon game. You can dress up your fucking Pikachu.
I was never much... You know, it's like in the Tekken games, you could customize...
This is the first...
characters, and I never did that. Never
the
cared.
First Pokemon game to come out for a Nintendo system. Like an official Pokemon game. I don't think people are really aware of that. This is the first one. This isn't like a fucking DS game. This is going to be a fucking... For the Switch. This is their console. This is their console right now. But their console right now is ingenious where it's like, it is a fucking DS. And you can play it on the go. But that's big news, man. And they're putting all their fucking eggs in this basket, dude. They're fucking...
I have to do something.
You make it sound like Pokemon's dead. It's not.
Oh, no. I know. It's not going to die. I mean,
it's more alive than it ever was, man.
I mean, people love Pokemon. I'm not a kind of But, of course, I was after playing Red and Blue. I know people went on with the Silver, Gold, and all that. I played a little bit of those. I just,
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, we'll probably get I mean, there's, like, fucking Mario and shit and fucking, Zelda for sure. I mean, We just kind of have to get it. I mean, well, like fucking Metroid. And they did the announcement for Mega Man.
10.
It can't be 10. It's got to be 11.
Nope, Mega Man 10. They did a 10th anniversary, but it's not Mega Man 10.
Mm. But the official Mega Man 10 is coming out.
Yep.
Are you excited about that?
I definitely want to take that remastered and go through
They are doing a remaster of the X series too. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I kind of went back and watched some of the stuff to see what, because I didn't remember how X came about and all that and what.
Well, X was. It was in the storyline, but it was a separate game essentially. Like.
Yeah, it was set in future from X.
Yeah, he's not Mega Man. He's a fucking. He's another Mega Man model, but he's so fucking badass that Wily was like, not Wily, but White. Dr. Was it White?
Yeah, I think Dr. White or something like that.
He was so fucking scared of him. He's like, I gotta put you away for a billion years because you're too advanced. I made you too good. And then somebody found him and was like, oh shit, this is fucking really good. And he started making his own robots based on that one. And then that dude died. I sent you a movie.
Yeah. That was at the end of...
It was on the PSP game.
Yeah.
The version, the port.
I watched that. I actually played that.
Oh, you paid it on the PSP?
Yeah, I owned that.
But yeah, Mega Man X is its own thing, but Mega Man X also had, like... It was a faster Mega Man, I guess. That's what people would call it. Like, you could do more. You could do the wall crawl, which you couldn't do in the other ones and stuff like that. Anyway, we played X on the show, did we not?
I don't know if we did.
Or did we just play Mega Man?
Just played Mega Man.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to X yet. We could play X. I asked Brent, I gave him the options. You want to play Mega Man or you want to play X? And Brent's like, I want to play Mega Man. And then he played Mega Man. He's like, I fucking suck at Mega Man.
I haven't played that. I found out and I was looking at that. I have not played the first Mega Man. I played 2.
Oh, yeah. Everybody played 2. Yeah.
I did not play the first one. And that's why it seems so off to me, because it just...
That's kind of funny, too, at the same time. It's like, yeah, I play Mega Man. Holy fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. What the fuck's going on? Why is this dude shooting lemons?
It just... And I think they made it actually a little easier in 2 than they did in that first one. That first one was, wow.
From what I understand, they were all fucking pretty brutal.
I didn't have as hard time in the second one.
I remember you playing X a lot. I don't remember you playing Mega Man.
I didn't know you back when I played Mega Man. I mean, I was younger.
I remember playing the shit out of X, though.
Oh, I loved Mega Man X. I played that series all through 1, 2, and 3.
I bought you a fucking cart of Mega Man with the fucking box, and now it's fucking gone. And I can only imagine that's worth a lot of fucking money now.
Oh, that's still... We won't even go there.
Goddamn you, Brett. Fucking goddamn you. I thought you sold that one prior to that incident.
No. That was a crown jewel of my...
Mega Man X in the fucking box.
That was a huge crown jewel of my collection.
NES, Super SNEX fucking version. He had it, and now it's gone. Somebody else has it now. I'm sure somebody else has it, but doesn't know where the fuck it came from or its fucking history, but Brent fucking had that motherfucker. I don't know. I have a lot of carts.
There was a lot. I had a couple of them that were.
I remember. Yeah, I remember you had
Zelda and Adventures of a Link.
I remember one time me and you went to a secondhand store. I wouldn't call it a thrift store. A secondhand store that you had found, like that bookstore. I forget what that was called. And I was looking in their game cart, their like glassed off one, and I was like, "Oh, hey Brent, you had that game, didn't you?" And you're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Why don't we just pick it up? Right, it's right there. Why would you pick it up?" And you're like, "I ain't paying that." And I was looking at the wrong price, and the one I was looking at was like $500 or something like that. And I was like, "Holy shit!" You were like, "Yeah." It's like, the fuck game was that? That stupid fucking X something with the robots and shit, wasn't it?
I think so. I can't remember the name of it, but
Brent's getting depressed.
There's a lot of games I had.
I was fucking like, goddamn. Well, I picked up the
biggest ones that I would probably go back and play a lot more if I still had them. Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2.
I remember it was like not a couple weeks ago. I picked up some games for the channel, and I said, "Hey, Brent, I picked these up for the." I said, "Hey, look, I got something to show you," and like he looked at it, and he goes, "Are these mine?" And I'm like, "What?"
I never got rid of those copies, and I can't find them now.
And I was like, "They still have the price tags on them." And he's like, looks at them again.
Mine still had the price tags on them.
Oh. I thought I might loan them to you. And I was like, I never loan those games. I don't fucking care about that. I was like, I picked them for the channel. And you're like, oh, cool. It's like, I thought he'd be more excited. He was like,
Well, it's still kind of a bitter pill to me that they won't do anything more, like remaster them or do anything. It just kills me because they're such good games. Yeah. And I would really, Blood Omen 1... I would really, really love to see a remastered of that.
Probably won't ever. If they did, they won't do a remaster. If they ever did it, they would just make another, like a new one, like they did with the Devil May Cry when they tried to redo it. This is exactly what they would do. This is exactly what they would do. They wouldn't do what you want to do.
Granted, I can't even say I'd like to see a new one, an extension of the story, because to me, they can't do that because they legitimately ended with Defiance, ended that storyline.
Yeah.
There is no, you can't, no, they ended it.
No. You have any closing words for the podcast? I think it's run a little too long. Run long enough. I think we bored.
Just look for
we bored the people.
My live cast of reviews
on Facebook, probably the Facebook Warbear page. And I don't know.
Have fun.
Yeah, I look forward to more stuff that I got coming up too. I ain't really announced anything just yet, but I got stuff in the works as well. So talk to y'all later. Boy.